I spent the last weekend with my sister and the kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is that like we both figured that we say and do a lot of stuff to our kids
Mm-hmm.
that we heard as kids
Mm.
and hated and
Yeah.
still hate
Okay.
and would not assume to be the right thing to do. But it's like so deep in us
Yeah.
that if we don't pay attention, we just do the
Okay.
same thing.
But
And
you,
this
so
is,
you,
yeah.
well, just to ask you, when you say this, it's like it's things that you don't think are good.
Well, not that I wouldn't consciously choose to do. Like
Okay.
not things that would harm them
Uh-huh.
or whatever, but like just like see my for example, my mom always used to be on the phone.
Okay.
Always. It still is like from the minute she opens her eyes to the minute she goes to bed, she's on the phone.
Okay. Okay.
And when we wanted something as kids, she would always say, "Not now, I'm on the phone."
Ah.
And now having smartphones,
Mm. Okay.
this is something that we do as well, right? Because we're like, I just gotta text whatever, blah blah, and you're
Yeah.
like, not now, not now, stuff like that.
Right. 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 Mm.
Yeah.
All right. I understand. Well, yeah, but I mean, I think you can also just take out the parts because obviously there's a way to achieve the same goal and because I mean I don't know that there would be any benefit to telling a kid uh not now, I'm on the phone or whatever, unless you're trying to teach them patience or whatever. But for instance, when my mom was growing up, my grandmother handled the fighting situation in a different way, which was I think I think if I remember the story correctly, my mom was getting chased home by another girl, and my
Uh,
grandmother saw my mom like happened to be outside and saw my mom running down the street, running towards the house. And my grandmother just went in the house and locked the door and let my and basically was just like, you can't come into the house until you fight this girl, you know?
no way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So, but the thing is, my mom ended up fighting the girl and she won the fight. And then she knew. She was like, now I know I can fight.
Wow. So if you had a kid, would you do that?
Well, my point being that my mom understood the principle of it, but she was just like, I'm not going to make you fight this, stay in that fight. What she did was she took me to the karate school so I could learn how to fight in the proper way, you know?
Hmm. I was just thinking what I would do. I would probably, I mean, I'm not saying that this wasn't smart,
Mm-hmm.
but just if I imagine my kid to be in a situation like that, I would probably just like make her come inside and lock the fucking door or punch
Right.
the girl myself or
Right,
whatever.
right, right,
You
right.
know?
Right.
So I think it's pretty uncommon thing to do for a mom.
Okay, okay. This is interesting, right? Now
Right.
you bring her in the house and you lock the door.
Yeah.
And maybe this girl that chased her home goes to the school.
I know. I didn't say it was super smart of me. I just said what I would probably do in that moment.
In that moment, okay, so now the girl goes to the school with your daughter, and she has to deal with this every day. What do you do?
Yeah. I I get the point. Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be fucked up, right?
yeah, yeah. So like that's kind of like the thing. Like you kind of like have to know, and then you don't like. I mean, of course, you want to teach your kids that fighting isn't the answer.
Oh,
And I'm
well.
speaking the house totally hypothetically because I don't have kids, so I defer to your expertise on this.
Mm.
But you know, like obviously, like kids aren't like you want to teach them the right way, but then they have to deal with everyone else. So the
You know, the
question,
interesting thing is that now, from like the knowledge that our generation has now,
mm-hmm,
we would always assume fighting not to be the right way because
mm-hmm,
we want them to argue and talk about things and
mm-hmm,
whatever, right?
mm-hmm,
But then if you just watch kids at kindergarten interact with each other, half of the time that they spend at kindergarten, they spend biting, scratching, pulling hair, fighting. I
mm-hmm,
think it's just like something that they need to do, right? That's
mm-hmm,
how they, because they don't have the verbal skills to talk about their emotions or whatever, or don't even really get what they're really deeply feeling.
mm-hmm.
And then I guess it's just natural for kids to fight,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
But the thing is like okay, we know this, we understand this, right? And to me, this is kind of like the innocent part of it. But then there's like dealing with the bully. You know what I mean? Like how do you like how do you not have to deal with the bully? You know what I mean? Or how do you deal with the bully when that situation presents itself? Because obviously like I just come from like a different and obviously I come from a different environment, but I think it kind of works the same across the board. You go somewhere, you you if you can show that you can handle yourself with one person, you don't have to deal with it as much as if like you're not confident enough to handle that first situation, then everybody looks at you like, "Oh, this is somebody we can mess with," you know?
Right.
And so it's just it's just an interesting situation because you know like yeah you would love for people to not have to for kids to grow up and not have to be confronted with these things, but this it's just like the reality of the situation. And so like to me I would almost treat it the same way as if like kids might not like going to school. You know what I mean? You can't. You got to go to school. Like this is what it is. You know what I mean? Like so to me, maybe then I would just have to put like a martial art in there and some sort of music thing in there, like some sort of artistic thing, a martial art, and then the rest of your education. And I think these things would just I think I've decided it's mandatory. You're gonna learn. You're gonna pick whatever martial art you want to learn, and then you know, or you can switch it up or whatever. Pick an instrument. You know, I hope the guitar because this is the easy one. You could go bring it out to the park or whatever, and you know what I mean.
Oh my God.
And but not even just this like the guitar, man. Like you could go out there. You could
Yeah, but this is you putting your dreams on someone else.
this is not a dream. This is a tool.
Yeah, but maybe your kid doesn't want to have that tool.
Well, maybe okay. So then maybe they don't want to learn. Maybe they don't want to go to school. What's the difference?
Well, interesting. What's the difference? I don't know. Like at some point, like I guess that most people figure out at some point of their life. A lot of us figure that out pretty late, but then at some point you figure out that learning and going to school and having good grades and whatever makes you able to make money and live the life you want to live, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this is fundamental if you don't want to do it the hard way,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But then exercising, I don't know, what, going to sports classes or music classes is something that is good. I totally agree on you. If like someone has interest in that stuff, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But then I don't think you can force someone into it, you know? Because everything that you force for at least half of the people
Mm-hmm.
turns out as something that they will always hate doing.
If my kid hates it, but they find themselves in a situation where they need it and they'll be able to handle themselves, I don't mind them hating it or hating me because of it. This is
Hmm.
this is the thing. I If they want to be mad at me, like be mad. You know what I mean? Like, but I think like you know, obviously my kid's only imaginary, but like
No, no, no. I'm just. I mean, my kid is 3 years old. I'm not at that point either. I don't know how I'm gonna handle it. But all I know is that I had to take music classes, and I still remember it was every fucking Tuesday that I had to go there after school,
mm-hmm.
and every single Tuesday of those years, I made my sister try to break my arms because I didn't want to go there.
Oh wow.
Seriously,
Yeah.
she would like take my arms and hit them against the table till they were blue.
Wow.